Hello and welcome to another episode of The Darren Green Show, your one-stop shop for celebrity gossip, news and music, pop culture, and the latest gab on social media. If you are watching this on YouTube, please leave your thoughts in the comments, leave a like, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, girl, what's going on? Subscribe to that damn channel. Okay, and also for the audio listeners, hey, how y'all doing? Be sure to leave a rate and review for the podcast, okay? And it is Monday, so that means that it's going to be on We Are You Radio. Shout out to the We Are You Radio listeners. Y'all be supporting me over there. I be seeing y'all. I be hearing about y'all. I be looking at the analytics too. Shout out to y'all and all that good stuff. Anyway, there's not much of a weekend report. My life consists of working and going home and doing content and working and going home and doing content and maybe somewhere in between there playing some Sims. It's really not much going on. That's why I got to talk about these topics, because the topics was popping. Now, I will say this in regards to my content, like the reaction video that I did for Chloe Bailey's album Trouble in Paradise did really well. Thank you guys for your support. If there's anybody that's listening on audio or on We Are You Radio, I definitely implore you to go on my YouTube page, Darren Green Show. Check out the reaction videos, because we be having a good time over there. Okay. I had a good time with the album. The album was really fairly good. Definitely, I have more to say for the news and music segment of the show, so we'll get into that when we get into that. But I did have a good time, and also I had a good time hearing your guys' reactions and stuff like that. And it was like this one comment that was like, "You did this over the Latto album." I'm like, okay, hold on, because I was going to do the Latto album too. Speaking of that, I got done doing it yesterday, so I have to edit for it. And that's going to be a task. For this one in particular, like the raw footage from that is like an hour long. So I thought it was I guess because Latto's album was a lot longer than a lot of the albums that I've previously did reaction videos for. She had a lot of songs on there, about 17. So it's just going to be a minute for me to edit it. It should come out on Tuesday. Mark my words, because I get out early on Monday. So hopefully future me does the edits, okay, on Monday, so I can have it prepared for Tuesday, okay? But anyway, this is going to be a short little intro because I feel today I just want to get right into the topics. So we got to talk about Young Miami and her Carisha Please episode with Saucy Santana. We then have to talk about Armon, Wiggins, and Funky Dineva. They got into it, y'all. We'll also talk about the people still supporting Chris Brown, and that's never going to change because I don't know why y'all think that's going to. All that and more coming up on the Darren Green Show. Okay, so let's get into the first topic. We got to talk about Young Miami's Carisha Please episode. She sat down with Saucy Santana to talk about an array of things. She talked about her relationship with JT and how, the City Girls that ended or whatever, and, how they separated from that. She also talked about her relationship with Diddy and what was going on during that time, and basically how she stepped away after the allegations came out or whatever. All that. I'm going to play certain clips, different clips during that sit down, because it had a lot of people talking, right? It had a lot of people talking. A lot of people was doing a lot of eye rolling. People was doing a little, girl, you ain't know what was going on, or he ain't do nothing to you, or all that good stuff. Here is what she said in regards to the JT City Girls situation, their beef, because they did beef at one point, and then also ultimately what was the driving force in them parting ways. So this is a little bit of what they had to say on that.
City Girls and JT, y'all was having an argument on Twitter. You felt she was making songs about you. She felt like you throwing a rock and hide in your hand. Where do y'all stand at today as City Girls and just as sisters, as friends?
She ain't all good and it's not all bad. We don't talk every day, but it's no beef on my end. I still look at her as family, but it's not like we on the phone, we chatting every day or we checking in.
Do you feel like taking it to the internet, or do you feel like things that happen behind the scenes have went too far that it'll never be the same?
I feel like once we go to the internet, that's like I'm the type of person, like, we could hash this out behind closed doors. You could call my phone, we could text each other, we could cuss each other out. But like once it goes to the internet, I feel like you trying to get people to pick a side. Mm-hmm. Like you putting people in our business to pick a side, and I don't do that. Because I feel like we've been friends for so long that if we gonna go to the internet, we gotta air each other dirty laundry. Mm-hmm. And if we real friends, we ain't going to the internet. I'm not going to the internet. And I felt like I'm always the one that's going to let the narrative run and let people think that.
So I'm going to stop here for a second. I'm going to come back. Because she says she ain't like the fact that she or JT took it to the internet with their beef or whatever. But my thing is this, like, Miami, we got receipts of you being shady on Twitter first. Like that whole thing where Cardi was going in on JT and JT was rightfully so going back and forth and whatnot. Like, you made that little corny tweet talk about something I just got up, or you were laughing, you were liking certain tweets. We got your tea on that. So I'm just like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, y'all both was playing the social media games, if I'm not mistaken. I don't get that. But anyway, here's more of that.
Want to think and not clear nothing up because it's just, it'll never be that serious to me. I'm cool. I ain't got to clear nothing up.
How long behind the scenes do you feel like have things been rocky between y'all two?
I feel like it's been a minute. I just feel we outgrew each other. I feel like she was in LA, I was in Miami. And I just felt every time we tried to talk about we came together, it just didn't hit.
So do you feel like distance, you living in Miami, she living in LA, did that play a part in the wedge of y'all two?
I don't know.
Did y'all go to the studio together? How was recording? Because y'all last album didn't do well. And I feel like even in interviews, y'all weren't in sync. Mm-hmm. And it didn't look like something that just happened. It looked like something that's been occurring.
Yeah. I just felt like when we got together, it just wasn't hitting. I just felt like we was just in two different headspaces. The way we dressed was different. I'm more of, I wear a leotard. JT want to wear something covered. So I just felt like whenever we tried to get together, it just didn't connect. We'll be on tour. She got her own dressing room. I got my own dressing room. She riding with her own glam team. I'm riding with my own glam team. When we get on the stage and we do our routine, that was probably like the only interaction we had at the time when we was on tour together. So I don't really know together. It's just what was the moment that separated us. But I just felt like it became a time where like when we was getting together, it just wasn't connecting. And I was just like, ain't no money in the group. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to the studio together. I'm doing a feature. People calling for the City Girls. It's either me or it's you. It just wasn't connecting no more. And I just felt like that's what really made me start my own brand. Like, I got to do something because I'm in this group. The group ain't making no money. We not working. So it just became a point where we was just like on two different pages. And I felt...
And I think that part is understandable. I'm going to stop here because for the sake of I'm doing a show, so I want to show somebody else a show. Go watch it, right? They go on to talk about the key moments of how they split up and then the beef that kind of started between the two, or why she didn't really defend JT when her and Cardi was going back and forth, and her whole response to it was it had nothing to do with me. She was like, I was left off Bad Bougie, right? She was left off the song that Nicki did, the Super Freaky Girl Queen mix that had JT and a whole lot of other rappers on there. She was left out, so it really that had nothing to do with her. So when the drama came out and Cardi was getting after JT, she felt no reason to respond, which I felt like that was BS. This is supposed to be your best friend. You get what I'm saying? And y'all grew up together. Now, I wouldn't say grow up as in children or anything like that, because I don't know how long you knew each other, but y'all grew up in this space, in this industry together. Y'all were like this, okay? Y'all were sisters, okay? Your sister was being attacked verbally, and I'm pretty sure, okay, you are friends with Cardi as well. If my best friend and another friend of mine that I didn't know that long was going back and forth, I'm going to be on my best friend's side. Unless she did something that was completely out of the way and I'm like, girl, you was wrong for that, I'm going to be on my best friend's side. I'm going to definitely be like, either try to not intervene in the way of adding on to Cardi B slander, because whatever. Or maybe just try to be like a mediator, try to get them together. Hey, let's get on this group FaceTime. But you did none of that. You made a corny, quippy little tweet saying, I just got up. Girl, you did not just get up. Like, you were definitely present. I don't believe that. I don't believe that you had, okay, and Saucy Santana gets on video like, you can't sit there and criticize the way she talk about her truth. That's our truth. That's our truth. The truth ain't the truth. Saucy. Okay, it ain't the truth. I just don't believe that the reason you didn't want to respond or get at Cardi or get in between, you wanted to continue your alliance with Cardi. And that's what really drove the wedge between you and JT. I would have loved it if she actually would have got on that show and actually spoke the real. But I understand probably JT didn't want to be there, and rightfully Miami probably didn't want JT to be there either. These are two friends that are drifting apart. Okay, we've seen it all with friends of ours, relatives of ours. I know I have cousins that were best friends with people and they was East Boone Coon with people all the way back since grade school. They grow up, they have different ideologies, they have different belief systems, and they move apart accordingly. Nobody's really wrong in the situation. It's just that y'all are just not each other's cup of tea anymore. Even that comment that she made, oh, she started dressing different, she started appearing different and stuff like, I'm like, yeah, I mean, we ain't twins. We ain't double mint twins, girl. We ain't got to dress the same. We ain't got to look the same. We ain't got to act the same. I don't know. I think it's healthy for them to stay separate. I think it's hard for us to see because they came up together and they were a team at one point. They were a group, and people like me, they don't like to see friends end up that way. But honestly, at this point, it's probably for the best that they don't come together no more and have that thing. I believe that this video made like 2 million views. Carisha, I think you may have a career in talk shows. I think you can do it. Despite what I feel about how you talk and the things that you say and stuff, I think that you have a really interesting opportunity to really do a big thing in media and commentating or whatever the case is. We'll see how she'll keep up, because I know this got like the 2 million views because you were going to talk about the obvious things. And let's move on for the sake of the time and talk about Diddy, okay, because she had something to say about her relationship with Diddy. Now, here's what she had to say.
I'm just all over the place. I'm going through a lot, and some days I just be like, everybody go through this in their career and their life. 1 minute I'm happy, 1 minute I'm sad, 1 minute I'm kind of like, fuck this shit. And then the next minute, I'm looking at my kids and I'm like, I ain't bring us this far to go backwards.
A lot of just chaos, and it's a lot of allegations. And so I think that's what makes people feel like, since you were so heavily involved, you were a part of these things, or you were around these things. What was your experience like dating him?
Everybody trying to crucify me for it. Like, you was his biggest advocate, you was his cheerleader, but I was just celebrating when the world was celebrating him. Mm-hmm. So why am I being crucified, or why am I being separated?
Yeah.
When I was dating him, it was the frequency is how we used to laugh, because I see him Santana. It's always, what's up, queen?
Yes.
So I just felt like I met him like in a whole new era, and that wasn't my experience. Mm-hmm. Like, when I met him, it was just like, I told y'all on season 1, I even asked him, like, why you fucking with me? Why you fucking with a city girl?
A lot of the things that people really say about him, you didn't experience that as in dating. That's not something that you saw. Is that the reason why you never said anything?
Because I can't speak on something that wasn't my experience. And I can't speak on something that I don't know. I can't speak on these allegations because I wasn't around at the time. I don't know that person, and that wasn't my experience.
Domestic violence. He never hit you in a relationship. He was never violent. Was that something that you had to tolerate, or that's just that wasn't a part of? Because I feel like that's the biggest thing to him right now is, you know, what he going through in these lawsuits and that video that came out.
I've been through domestic violence in 2 relationships. And I told myself, after the second relationship, I would never put myself in that situation again, especially now being that I'm a mom. I was a mother then, but like having a daughter, like I would never put myself in that position. I don't stand for domestic violence. I'm just not going for that.
So like, where are you at?
So here's the thing. I want to give Young Miami the benefit of the doubt every time, but she is telling her truth. I do believe that maybe nothing went down with this relationship. I think maybe Diddy did have some type of a heart to not do anything to Young Miami, or maybe she's lying. It is what it is. No one knows the truth but God. But I don't know. I have issues with her not acknowledging the whole Cassie video, because that was definitely a thing. Like, people like, and I'm not trying to say, look, here's the thing. These people have digital footprints. Okay, Diddy has a digital footprint. Ain't no way in the world you didn't know what this man was getting into and what he was doing and what he had going on by the time your ass got. You knew what was the deal. You were making tweets to people before saying that, oh, I have my man make you, I'll make Diddy make you do this and this and third. Like, and we know that Diddy like to do a lot of devious stuff. So the fact that you would even make jokes on Twitter like that, it just lets me know that I don't know if you didn't or was not privy to a lot of the shit that was going on. I just find that hard to believe. Like I said, going back to Saucy Santana, oh, you can't, this is her truth. She spoke her truth. She gave us a little bit of crocodile tears. I'm gonna let it slide. But I'm just saying, like, I think that people are just side-eyeing the situation because it's just like, you literally, this could have been your opportunity to be like, yeah, okay, you did say you don't stand for domestic violence. The way she said it, it was in a way that was very general. And I think that's what's people's issue with it too. I'm sorry if I'm like going all over the place, but it is what it is. I'm a land. I promise you I'm a land. But remember when it first came out that like the video footage came out of Diddy abusing Cassie and just like how all that was going down and her story and everything. And there was a lot of people that was not condoning domestic violence. They say domestic violence is wrong and and so having their little spiel on that, but they didn't really condemn the person that actually did the crime, right? Like it was never a hit at Diddy. It was always a general response to, oh, domestic violence is wrong. You get what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, I'm seeing the same thing here with Young Miami. She's not really reprimanding him. We're not seeing, yeah, she said that she stopped being in a relationship with this man, but that could have been because of anything. So I think that's why she's getting a lot of side eyes, right? Just like she's getting a lot of side eyes with her talking about her situation with JT. I think that there's a lot that has been left out and she really did not get into the things like they said that she was going to get into. So I think that's the problem here. Now, y'all gonna tell me what y'all think in the comments because I know y'all will, but that's just how I'm feeling. Okay, that's just what it is. My opinion, like I said, means nothing outside of me. Y'all go ahead and form your own opinions, but I'm just saying, it's a little bit of a side eye over here. Okay, now let's move on. Another thing that I wanted to get into, I wanted to talk about this whole Armon Wiggins and Funky Dineva TGIF drama. We talked about this a couple episodes ago. We talked about how the show actually got canceled, the internet show TGIF, and how it really had a lot to do with the fallout between these three co-hosts, Armon Wiggins, Claudia Jordan, Al Reynolds. Well, Funky Dineva got on Carlos King's platform to really talk about a lot of things and to also talk about his experience with being on TGIF because he was on there before Armon. And he brought up Armon in a couple of clips. I don't have the clips on you. I'm pretty sure y'all already seen it. And if y'all didn't, I'm going to give y'all guys a Spark Note version. He basically said that Armon is a little immature. He was not the reason why TGIF got TGIF got canceled, but he was the driving force. And that he was, like I said, he was a little bit immature and he could have handled things differently. Armon didn't like that at all. So he got on his live here and read Funky Dineva for filth. And I saw clips, like I saw like a good little 10-minute clip of it. I couldn't watch the whole thing because it was just him screaming and like everything that Funky said in his response, because he made a response to his response. It proves his point even more. And I'm talking about Armon here, that this is coming from an immature space. And I think that Armon really cannot take constructive criticism. Because what Funky said, and I'm talking about his initial sit down with Carlos, I don't feel that what he said should have caused that much of a response. Now, that if y'all saw his live, he was crying, he was screaming, cursing off the, like I've always known Armon Wiggins to be very level-headed, like even with all his beefs, like all his beefs that he had thus far, he had a lot of beefs this year, honestly. Very much a level-headed person. This is the first time we actually saw him, like he got really emotional, and I felt like his emotions were displaced for Funky when it really should be for the powers that be. And what got my head scratching is that you chose to have an alliance with Claudia when Claudia is the goddamn reason why this whole. Now, nobody's going to say it. Nobody has said it, but I think Claudia is the reason. I mean, we can say Al has like a dark side to him, and I said that in other episodes and stuff like that, but it's really Claudia that really likes to play puppet master on these. Like she said, with Nene, you be playing puppet masters. Well, I'll be playing puppet masters on these jobs. And it just makes no sense to me that she does that. That's a whole nother episode. Because she does that, and it's, girl, you're doing this at a place of work. Like, y'all are supposed to be talking about the drama. Y'all are not supposed to be the drama. That doesn't make any sense. But back to Funky Not Even in a Rhyme. That whole live, and I caught glimpses of it, like I said, on TikTok. And also because I do subscribe to him, and I am a fan of his. Like, I'm saying this, don't come for me, Armon child. But I'm just saying this out of love, but it was too much. And when you really look at things in I guess in the grand scheme of things of some sort, the reason why Funky Dineva left the talk show and hear him talk about his experiences compared to watching Armon's story and his reasons of why he had problems, it's similar. Funky Dineva talked about how every time he came into work, there was always something or some type of drama between people, some conflict or whatever. Armon said the same thing. They both talked about pay cuts and how they weren't paid as much, whether Funky Dineva was talking about how he wanted that health care and they would never offer it to him, or how Armon talked about how he got like nearly as much as his co-host Al Reynolds and Claudia Jordan. So these people y'all have similar experiences. So I don't understand why y'all are beefing, why you are choosing to beef with him because he says you're immature, because he said and let's be clear, he said the truth, and I think it hurts your feelings. You aligned with Claudia, and I believe what Funky said. I believe that Claudia probably didn't want Armon on the show. And her reasoning, because I remember he said on the live that he made in response to Armon, was that Claudia didn't want you on the show. And she basically started this rumor that you don't like women, or you are like a woman basher or whatever, this, that, and the third, very misogynistic, to try to get you off the show. That is something Claudia was like, she does that type of crap. Like, she did that on Atlanta where she had like ulterior motives and against Portia, and she ended up getting fired because of that. You stop in your bag because you starting drama with the people that you're supposed to be working with. That just didn't make any sense. She did that on that show that had New York on it when they was trying to make a talk show off of that. Like, this girl is nothing but drama. She makes everything into drama, and that's why a lot of the things blow up in her face. And the fact that y'all was getting paid, what y'all was getting paid, and still was causing drama that in turn ended up canceling the show. Funky Dineva said, this whole thing ended because of stupid shit. Because of stupid conflicts that didn't even matter. And I'm not saying y'all was making buku money. Let's be very clear. I'm not going to undermine what Armon said also, and how he didn't get paid and he lost out on a lot of money. He could have been going on YouTube all the time. He was paying attention to this job. He could have been focusing on his own career. You get what I'm saying? His own platform. And that is understandable. I won't take that away from him. But I also just feel like it was a little bit too much to come for Funky, because he didn't really say that much. Now, the part that I feel that Funky Dineva was wrong was the part when he was like, him doing that roast and making those complaints it's too unbelievable. Trying to say that he was coerced to say those things at that roast, because he has not been there long enough to know. And I will say this, look, you said it yourself, Funky Dineva. I don't know what happened. I don't know how dynamics were after I left. You don't know. You don't know what happened when you left and he came in. So you can't particularly say that he doesn't know, or he's just saying being fed things. I can see how you can think that, because we know how Claudia is a puppet master and she likes to align herself and manipulate people that are weak-minded. Not trying to say Armon is weak-minded, but he's definitely impressionable. Very much impressionable. That's why the beef happened with him and Jason Lee. I also think that Armon probably feels a way about his, I guess, with Funky Dineva's alliance with Al. Let's be very clear. I think they all have their little kinks and little situations with them, with their personalities and stuff like that. But I will say this, looking back, even though if we take optics out of it, if we take the virality of certain things of what you did, like, that roast was inappropriate. And that's what Funky Dineva said. What he said was the truth, but I just think that Armon just was offended or got his feelings hurt. Like, it was very much inappropriate. You do not do that like he said, in what work setting is that appropriate? If I do that at my job, you're getting write-ups, you're getting fired. I get it. It's a different echelon with y'all. Y'all talk about celebrity tea, but y'all never, it's insubordinate. You get what I'm saying? Like, you should never be a part of a team. You should always work by yourself if you're going to be like that. But that's clearly who Armon really is, though. Looking at his relationships, I'm starting to re-look at his beef with Jason Lee, because was this really all Jason Lee? Did you play a part in it? He also beefed with another YouTuber that was on Chasing LA or whatever. He was King Payne or whatever. And to be honest, I was on King Payne's side, because you really had it was really no clear reason on why you disliked him. And then when you got to reading him, you talking about appearances and looks and you're fat, like, you're just like, it's giving bully vibes, and nobody around you wants to tell the truth, and you're going to be burning these bridges for the rest of your career. You might as well just continue to be independent. I'm sorry. I'm gonna always be a fan of his because he's very entertaining. He is definitely next. Like, when I say next as new media and being like a talk show host and talking about the goops and gossip and all that, he does a great job. Okay. But like Funky Dineva said, I would love to see some type of growth or some type of maturity. And I think that's what it was. It wasn't really I think sometimes in our community, and I'm talking about the gays, honey, the gay community, child, we can't tell each other nothing. We can't give each other no type of constructive criticism because we think that they trying to read us down, that they trying to discredit us. We cannot, and I think it also is a man thing too. Us men, child, we're very, you can't tell us nothing, child. You can tell me anything y'all want. Let's be very clear. You can tell me anything you want. I'll take it. I might respond or might want to go back in debating, but I'm never going to, that is never happening. You get what I'm saying? Like, that whole response, and maybe it could have also been fueled by, okay, I need some numbers. He had like 10,000 people on the chat room when he did that live. So that could have also been a thing too. We know that Armon, like, he's a bit of a stunt queen. I ain't hating it. Look, get your money. Okay, get all that money that you felt like you were not owed or was giving during this. So, of course, make that into your topics. Of course, make that into the live. That's the discussion that you're going to be talking about. Just optics-wise, it just looks a little, yeah. I didn't like that for him. But anyway, y'all will tell me what y'all think about that in the comments. I'm not going to continue on this topic. We'll move on. I did want to talk about Chris Brown for a little bit, okay? Now, Chris Brown has been a topic, and I will say this much. I don't really like talking about the man because he's very problematic. But he was minding his business. He's on tour. He's doing tours around the nation, and he's having shows and performing and doing what a singer does to make money. And people, the general public, some people in the general public are not having it. I'm going to say this, and you're not going to like what I'm going to say. But the general public does not care about your disdain for people. They don't care. Half the people in this, they don't. I say all that to say, there were some folks on social media that were upset about other popular artists that attended or took pictures or fraternized with the singer Chris Brown. I think that there were some that attended, like Victoria Monet, Jordan Sparks. I believe Kalani went viral for taking a picture with Chris Brown. People on social media that shared their disappointment with these artists and celebrities that showed love to the R&B singer. And what I have to say about all of this is, I don't know. I think I used to be those people. I think like me personally, I feel like I used to be that person. Oh my God, like, why are you listening to Chris Brown? Da, 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 da. Like, not even just Chris Brown, but like just other artists that were just really problematic. And it's just like, you realize that it's draining to have those conversations with people that will never have those same views, you know? Hell, there's people that still listening to R. Kelly. I had to stop having my family debates to really prove why it's problematic to still listen to R. Kelly, how y'all supplying his pockets by streaming his music. It's like talking to a brick wall. It's never going, you're never going to change these people's minds. And like they said, the hate only lives on social media, because when you're looking at Chris Brown's concerts, it's very packed. There's nothing that you can do. There's one person that did say this on Twitter, you know, in regards to this whole topic, because this was a trending topic on social media this week. They said that I don't think Chris Brown nor his fans are trying to make any of you support him. The discourse happens when you begin telling people who they are allowed to like. If you've chosen not to support him, why is that not enough? Why is another person needing to validate your disdain? I'm not going to say I agree with this, but I'm like, you can't really refute this. You can't. There's nothing that you can say because at the end of the day, like, Chris Brown is a celebrity. He's a renowned singer that has made millions and millions of dollars off of music. He's had hits after hits after hits. People can't get over that. People cannot separate the artist from the art. Actually, no, people can do that. Let me reverse that. People can do that. Okay, they do it all the time. They like, okay, this person did this problematic thing. I don't care, so I'm gonna still listen to him. I'm gonna still stand him, and it is what it is. Like there's nothing that you can tell me. Now, are people hypocrites? Yeah. Of course, look at Kalani. Kalani literally stopped doing a song that she was gonna do a song with Tory Lanez, but then the whole Tory Lanez situation happened with Meg Thee Stallion getting shot. But you ended up doing a song with an abuser, not an abuser. You know what I'm saying? But we can say that all we want, but what does that do? What does it do? What do you solve by saying that? She doesn't care. It was very performative for her to not do it. I believe she's friends with Megan Thee Stallion. So, of course, this was a personal situation. Sparks was known for, she went viral for saying recently that Chris Brown doing what he did to Rihanna was the main reason why she got blocked of a Grammy for that No Air song. She's at that concert singing that song in the audience as if that's not her song. Why didn't he have you on the stage? My thing is, I was more mad at the fact that he didn't get you on the stage. You should have been on that stage singing with him. That's your song. But you can't really tell people nothing. Like, you can't tell people who to support and who not to support. And look, people will do it people will do it because they want. If social media says, oh my God, so we're knocking this person, we're canceling this person, there's going to be people that's going to be like, that don't even care about the artist or don't even care about the person that's being canceled. They're going to support them blindly because you're not going to tell me what to do. Like I'm telling you right now, if y'all do not give it that much energy, then they won't get that many supporters because it's people like, look at the whole Tory Lanez situation. Nobody cared about that artist. People used to laugh at him and his music. People never thought, past a couple good songs that he came out with in the beginning back in 2016, 2017, nobody was really checking for Tory Lanez. It was only when that situation happened with Meg Thee Stallion and people was on his burners and stuff like that and on his bumper, that's when people started to come in. That's when the toxic men started to come in. Oh, I don't really know him that much, but you know what? I'm going to support him because y'all not going to cancel him because y'all don't know the whole story. Like, people don't care. Like, they will blindly support. You actually make it the person more famous and more iconic when you cancel them. Like, canceling has now become like a superpower. If you get canceled, that's like the best thing ever. But when you don't give it energy, that's when I think you'll see a change. Look, people are going to support him to the day he dies. You also have to understand that a lot of these celebrities that still support him and still show up and have appearances with him, they're in a bubble. A lot of celebrities are in a bubble. They don't really watch the news. They look at the news as tabloid media, fake news, this, that, and the third, because there has been stories about them before, so they know what it's like. So they only know of the story of Rihanna because that was such a big story. They don't know what he did to Karrueche. They don't know about these allegations that he had in the past that were proven wrong, air quotes. They just know the situation with Rihanna. They know that Rihanna forgave him and they moved on. So it's time for us to move on too. What's the point? Like, they don't know. And I'm not saying I hold them accountable, but get ready to cancel the entire world. Cancel everybody in the industry because they all mess around. They all friends. That's how all these celebrities are. They don't hold each other accountable. So y'all gonna have that. Look, what Beyonce say, child, stay in your struggle. Because it's almost like the similar conversation with how y'all was upset about Simone Biles for putting up with a man like that and all that conversation back. And she told y'all to mind y'all business and y'all like was so butthurt about it. Like, girl, if they don't see their worth, if they doing things problematic, girl, there ain't nothing you can do. But I don't know, child. What do y'all think, honey? Tell me what y'all think about that in the comments. I guess we'll move on. I do want to get into the whole news and music portion of the episode before I get up out of here. Now, we had 2 albums that came out on Friday. Well, 2 albums. I'm pretty sure there was probably more albums that came out, but I'm only highlighting 2. that I thought was very interesting. It was an interesting topic, right? First of all, Chloe Bailey's Trouble in Paradise. Chloe. Okay, let me give you a bomb, honey. I gotta give you a bomb because you did your thing here. I felt like this was like a continuation to In Pieces. In Pieces was more of a breakup song, trying to get over a past lover, boyfriend, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like Trouble in Paradise was like a sequel to it because now we're seeing like her talk about like self-love and loving herself and being okay with not being with somebody. And I love that. Like when you watch, if you do watch the reaction video, like the part where she was talking about the rose, honey, I'd rather play with a rose instead of playing with you. You get what I'm saying? Very much self-love, very much I'm in a space in my life where, you know what? I don't even need you. I think we need more music like that. We know that R&B is supposed to be like love songs and this, that, and the third, but whatever happened to self-love? Some of these R&B songs, do you ever listen to a song that is clearly a love song and it's about somebody like a significant other or whatever the case is, but do you ever listen to that song and the person that you're singing it for is actually yourself? I feel like I do that now with songs because I really don't, I'm not really dating nobody. I'm not talking to nobody. I don't have no interest in being with anybody. I'm trying to be successful. I'm trying to be a successful podcaster. Okay, I ain't got time to worry about a nigga. I listen to a lot of love songs and I really envision it me showing love to myself. And I love how this album is that. It's like self-love. Like it's a love song, but it's to me, it's to you. And I love what she did there. I love the song that she did with Anderson .Paak. I also love Redemption. Redemption should have been a little bit longer. Okay. I wish a lot of songs on this album was a little bit longer. There's a lot of 2-minute songs and I'm like, girl, what's going on? Love the Moments, Strawberry Lemonade. I love a good pop record. The song that she did with Holly. Now, I don't know. A lot of people said they loved it. Like I said in the reaction video, I loved how Chloe and Holly go back and forth. Like Holly will start singing, then Chloe starts singing. It's like boom, boom, boom. Like it's like in and out. We didn't really get that much. We got like a whole bunch of Chloe and then a little bit of Holly towards the end. They sound great. They're always going to sound good. That's my girl. But I don't know. I just thought it was going to be a little bit different. That's the only thing I was like, okay. I was very surprised at the Anderson .Paak record because not really into Anderson .Paak like that. I didn't really like him when he was on with Bruno Mars, but it definitely was like a feel-good type song. And she played around with a lot of different things, which I thought really expanded her first album for it to be a surprise album. However it does in the chart, I actually don't care. Like I said, girl, these charts don't matter. I just know that I had a good time and I got some music on my personal playlist. So shout out to Chloe, you did that. Now with that being said, girl, we got to talk about Latto and Sugar Hunny Ice Tea, girl. I can say shout out to her because Sugar Hunny Ice Tea has already reached #1 on the US Apple Music, so people really are listening to it. I'm going to tell y'all right now. Let me drink my little juice, honey. Y'all might not like me after Tuesday. Y'all might not like, because look, I said what I'm feeling. Okay, I like to say that. I was not feeling this album. I wasn't feeling this album. It was a lot of songs on there, and this is me taking my biases away from the person because I know how to separate the artist from the art, okay? I know how to, even though that, because I don't subscribe to stan culture anymore, so whatever. I went into this album with an open mind, and I just feel like a lot of songs on there just wasn't Latto. It was not Latto. It was definitely like formulaic. It was definitely like flows and cadences that was used by other artists. Like there was definitely some songs and I was like, oh, that sounds like Megan, or that sound like this artist. That sound like this artist. I was the only one that said it. There was somebody that said one of her songs sound like a Drake song. I forgot what, I think it was Peach something. It sounded like something Drake would say, like something. And I also feel like there was like a layer of importance of showing off that you're a lyrical genius or that you're a lyricist and stuff like that, which, okay, Latto, she gives us some good old wordplay and stuff like that, and that type of music that makes you think and makes you go back to the lyric and was like, what you mean by that? But I felt like it was too much of that. I'm known for Latto, like I said, rip me out the plastic, I've been acting brand new. Like stuff like that, like stuff that is turn up, I'm this, I'm that girl, I'm that. It's self-affirmation type, but also it's very simple. I don't really need to know what was the meaning of this line right here. That's just who Latto is. When she did Big Energy, like that didn't take, like, we knew exactly what she was talking about. We didn't have to decipher what it meant, child. We just knew we had a good time listening to it because it was a good song. I feel, and we got that with some music, because I think I got two songs from that album, H&M and Settle Down. But also I don't think there was another one on there that I liked too. I like the one that she did with Megan. That was a cute bop right there. I think it was called Squeeze. Those were good. But the rest of the album was just like, it just felt like noise. Like and when you see the reaction when I put it out on Tuesday, child, if y'all do watch it, you could it was given very much blank stare. Like I was like, oh, okay, this is an album. Like, I don't know. I wanted a little bit more from her. And I think she's really talented. I promise you this is not coming from a place of, oh, I don't like her because she messed with, like she dissed some people. Yeah, she had some one-liners about Ice Spice and Nicki. Like, they were cute. They were cute and clever. It's expected. They beefed, so whatever. I don't know. I just wanted a little bit more, a little bit. The album really did not do it for me. But like I said, music is subjective and it is what it is. Some people may like it. I may not like it. Could be others that do. There really is nothing else that I can say about that, but yeah. Other than that, child, we about to get up out of here. That is the end of the show. Thank you so much for listening this long. Okay. I will be back next time with the next episode. See you later.